Howdy. I've been to a flea store today, and that's some clothing what your grandma would wear, probably. And I found it really fascinating. We have triangle shapes, we have this kind of tetrahedrons, self-repetitive patterns, maybe some kind of a double layer thing here as well. We have the owl, instability, and also probably this might represent Bergland current seen from below, like from the center, underneath, or however you put it. Or it could be also this kind of polar configuration with Venus, Mars and Saturn. There's winter coming, so we have to keep the chickens warm. And I found for $5 this kind of stove door set, which has very nice Thunderbolts patterns on it. I think they're very nice. People just don't know about them, about these traditional patterns, what they mean. But in my eyes, these are Thunderbolts, represented in a way as flowers, as very often they use flowers for this. Since it's not that scary anymore, I guess that's the reason. And for 50 cents, Sotkamo. That's a place in Finland. Korukivi means like gemstone. 50 cents, snow quartz, sun quartz, epidoite. I have no idea what is it in English. Yellow quartz, serpentine, and unakite, or however you want to put it. And I will make a video once about Sotkamo. You don't have to remember this now, but it's very interesting. Serpentite. Yeah, there's a serpent. So we have a dragon. That's a sky from, I don't know, what hour ago or something. And I found it really interesting. There is this kind of huge accumulation of these lines here. And these are all very high clouds. And here we have more this kind of filamentary structure. But I fear that we have to talk about quakes. Because, obviously, there is something going on now here for real. This is just increasing. 2.0. Valmala. That's not too far from Monviso, the source of the Po River, Monviso. Here's this other quake, and we had 2 months ago or something in Maddalena, which is here, right at the foot of Monviso. In this region we had this earthquake swarm going on. It has been dying off recently. We had in Parma, we had those bigger quakes, which I couldn't show you. Wherever Parma is, I don't find it now. Here. Very close to Parma. Somewhere here, I think the quake were, but they have been disappearing. Or they disappeared before I could show them anyone. And there is, like, if you just follow here, we go up northwards. Let's start here. 20 hours ago, 9 kilometers in depth. So I don't know how deep the sea is there, but the depth of quakes is always from sea level. And this is one thing to remember, since we go from the trench, here it might be really deep, so the crust won't be that thick there, down there. since it's measured from sea level. There's the next one, 9 hours ago. 11 kilometers in depth. This we have seen already. Mont Viso, the source of the Po River. Parc National de la Vanoise. 4 hours ago, France, northern Italy. 9 kilometers in depth. Let's have a quick look of where we are. Is there anything of interest? Yeah, debris flows, water veins, glaciers. Glacier inférieur du Vallonnet. Inferior glacier. And also these rims, glacier rims, they are very interesting. But there's still more quakes we have to check out. We just started here. Chamonix. Now we are in Switzerland. Not France. 4 kilometers in depth. And maybe this is France still. But we are going into Switzerland shortly. So on the right side we have these water streams, and the left side we have also water stream. And that's just on top of the mountain. And there is this boundary line, obviously. Different kinds of sediment, different color, different composition. So now let's zoom out a bit more. Gruyère, Parc National, Régional Gruyère, Baie de Hénon. For those who don't know, there is very, very good cheese coming from this place. Gruyère, Château d'Eau, Vaudois, 2 kilometers in depth, 0.8. So that's already very, very, very shallow. We have also clouds here in the picture. We have water veins. And if we would go with Google Earth there, I guess I would say these are also like elevated areas. It's just not visible on this. If we put on terrain, yeah, there are those. No, it's not really visible. But all these might be of big interest one day. Mont Beauvau. And these marks, they might be done by cows or sheep or whatever, but not all of them. I guess some of those marks are also due to land movement, like mudslide, very, 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 very slow mudslide. It can take tens of years. We are still following those quakes, going northwards. Here we have a quake, and here we have mining operations. We are in the region of Solothurn, I guess. Solothurn. That's on a mountain. There aren't... It's very steep, because you can see it serpentining. I know they are steep, those hills there. I have been there. There is houses on top of that. And I bet they have water which is coming out of the ground. On every place where we have this kind of housing is water. There is some stream here in the back. And in this region there are many, 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 many caves and all kinds of things, which we will not dive into now. And then, like, that's my hood when I grew up. I grew up at the place where those 3 rivers connect. which makes a peace sign after all. Well, anyway, the Quake. There is a location here I have noticed recently, or like once, that here we have always quakes. Not big ones, but there are quakes nonetheless, 0 kilometers in depth. And there's like water veins all over the place here. I bet many aren't even marked anywhere. And what you probably also should know, like, let's zoom out a little bit. There is a nuclear power plant somewhere here. Then thermal bath here. Thermal baths are all over the place. And if we zoom in closer, wait a second. That's the wrong river. Yes, here it is. Paul Scherrer Institute. There's another nuclear power plant. And here, which is not very visible or very well visible, here somewhere, this is kind of nuclear waste storage facility. And we have so much thermal activity there, geothermal activity, we have nuclear power plants and all these kind of things in a very densely populated area. So, in this region we have nuclear power plants, geothermal activity, ancient Roman structures, Paul Scherrer Institute, and all kinds of things. River Rhine and 3 other rivers coming here, and there's like so much stuff going on there. But now let's continue further north. Let's zoom out a bit of where we are. We started here and now we are somewhere here. There's still something going up here. There was another yellow quake I saw earlier. Here. This, let's just zoom in. Engelberg. Angel Mountain. 36 kilometers in depth. And it happened in the center of the town, or whatever it is. Here's the quake. It's not very well visible. And here, monastery. One of the biggest monasteries in Switzerland. And here's a well in the middle of their garden, which is protected very well by these big walls. So, let's continue further north. We had to jump back a bit since I haven't noticed or didn't see it. I knew that there is another deeper one, as we have here, near Strasbourg, 28 kilometers, 1.7. For those who don't know, Kaiserstuhl Vulcano. Now it's visible better for everyone. But we also have here Hohentwiel, Cryptodome. Here are the pie wellings. Here are the big waterfalls. Here are the Neanderthal caves. Here are the power plants, and here are power plants, and here are nuclear power plants. Just saying. They are not going anywhere soon, those nuclear power plants. 1.4. Zandier de Vosges. 0 kilometers in depth. The Vosges mountain range is very interesting. Oui. kitten coming around. Strasbourg, Schlielkeim, Kehl, Reichstätt, Rheinau, River Rhine. 28 kilometers in depth, 1.7, 6 hours ago. River Rhine, very, very interesting and very important. Cascade. We cannot zoom in or do anything, but here we have this kind of lake beside the river, which has the color it has, which I think relates to gypsum, which means there is alkalinity in the environment. Station d'épuration de Strasbourg. This might be a water cleaning facility. Yeah, I don't know. I would say it could be one of those. They are cleaning the water. There are many other things there. Cathédrale Notre-Dame Strasbourg. That's a bigger city. Cathedral. And I bet there's water also inside of that. Yeah, there would be many, many, many other interesting things, but I just wanted to point out that there is something obviously traveling northwards, or there's there is an obvious line going at the moment somehow, making its connection northwards. Now let's check this still out and then I will leave it. Naturschauplatz Elfer Katzengrübel. 42 minutes ago. 11 kilometers in the confine Italy, Austria. 1.3. Very interesting. And as we zoom in, there's a water vane, another water vane. And wide rivers. Also the rock here is rather white. And somehow I could imagine these patches which are green, that there is something like different in the ground, more water, there is probably some wet spot. That's why it's green. Yeah, there's like really white stuff going on here. Really white. The gypsum eruption. Now this is I would say this is totally like white sediment deposits. The only thing which is left after the water just went back into the ground or evaporated. Doesn't leave too much marks, but the sediments remain. So this would be a region which would be very interesting to check out on Google Earth, having it in 3D. The best thing would be, of course, going around there and check it out, but it's too far away from me. Somewhat 2,500 kilometers too far away. But anyway, I will leave it here. There's going on things also here in France around Clermont-Ferrand. Aurillac, 1.7, no curry blast. 10 hours ago near Clermont-Ferrand, no curry blast. Also no curry blast. So there was just all quakes. Yeah, we have to keep our eyes open about these events because they might just increase. And you should be prepared. Now this we have to check out still because that's the Tagliamento River. The last wild river in Europe. Tagliamento. This is very beautiful, very white, alkaline river. I have been making videos about this already. You will find them probably with tagliamento, I don't know. But you will find them if you are interested into it. 6 hours ago, Moggio Udinese, 13 kilometers in depth. And yes, wide rivers, smaller ones, bigger ones, and very big ones, which can be easily seen from space. Yes, I think that's it. Thank you. Bye.